Now, just a couple of days ago, it was announced the WNBA Players Union had voted to authorize a strike.
Just a few days ago, something happened that nobody saw coming. The WNBA Players Association officially voted to authorize a strike. Not a rumor, not a leak, a real vote. And immediately, fans across the sports world froze. Because this was not like other labor disputes. This was different. The WNBA has never turned a profit in its entire history. Not once in 27 years. Almost every team is owned by an NBA owner who has been quietly covering losses for decades. Millions every year. Out of pocket. And now, at the exact moment the league finally has momentum, the players threaten to walk away. That alone stunned people. But then the numbers came out. The owners offered a deal that would raise maximum salaries from around $250,000 to nearly $2 million per season. Minimum salaries would more than double. Team salary caps would explode upward. This was not a small concession. It was an 800% raise. And the union said no. Not because of pay, but because of revenue sharing. Fans could not believe what they were hearing. Social media erupted, not with celebration but confusion, anger, disbelief. People who had supported the league for years were asking one question over and over. How do you revenue share losses? This moment instantly changed the tone around the WNBA. What should have been a celebration of growth became a tense standoff that risked everything the league had just built. Here is the uncomfortable truth that many fans already understand. You cannot revenue share money that does not exist. The NBA's 50-50 revenue split works because the NBA generates over $11 billion annually and turns massive profits. Players split half of something huge. The WNBA generates roughly $200 million per year and loses between $10 and $40 million annually. Every season. For nearly 3 decades. That gap matters. NBA owners have been covering those losses since 1997. Paying salaries, funding marketing, providing arenas, sharing facilities, promoting the league during NBA broadcasts, keeping it alive when it had no business surviving financially. And now, the players want the same revenue-sharing structure as a league 40 times larger and actually profitable. To fans, that is not brave. Feels disconnected. David Sampson, former president of the Miami Marlins and a respected sports business executive, said it plainly. The NBA will draw a line. They will not share revenue from a money-losing league. And they would shut it down before crossing that line. That statement scared fans because it sounded real. This is not about sexism. This is not about disrespect. This is about math. One side is negotiating from financial reality. The other is negotiating from principle. And principles do not keep leagues alive when the money runs out. What shocked people most was not the owner's stance. It was the fan reaction. These were not trolls. These were not haters. These were longtime supporters. People who defended the WNBA for years. People who watched empty arenas and still believed. And suddenly they were furious. Social media is filled with comments calling the union leadership embarrassing, delusional, out of touch. Some fans openly said they would stop watching if a strike happened. Others said the league was finally gaining relevance and the players were about to destroy it. That hurt. For decades, the biggest complaint from players was low pay. Fans supported that argument. Loudly. But now that a massive raise was on the table, the tone changed. People felt betrayed. They watched attendance triple in 2024. They saw Caitlin Clark sell out arenas. They saw national TV ratings explode. And instead of building on that momentum, the league looked ready to self-sabotage. Fan trust is fragile, especially in a league still fighting for mainstream acceptance. Once fans feel taken for granted, they disengage. They stop watching. They stop buying jerseys. They stop defending you. And that shift happened fast. This was the moment many fans realized something deeper. The league was not just negotiating a contract. It was risking its relationship with the only thing keeping it alive. The audience. The timing could not be worse. The WNBA just experienced the most important season in its history. And it happened because of one player. Caitlin Clark. The Indiana Fever went from averaging around 4,000 fans per game to selling out arenas nationwide. The games she played in tripled national TV ratings. Merchandise sales skyrocketed. Corporate sponsors finally paid attention. For the first time ever, the WNBA felt mainstream. Casual fans were watching. Sports shows were talking. Social media cared. And right here at peak momentum, the players threaten a work stoppage. That is why the backlash is so intense. Fans feel like they just discovered something exciting and now it might disappear before it even gets started. The league finally had leverage. And instead of using it carefully, it feels like the union pushed too far. One good season does not erase 26 years of losses. It does not suddenly make the business model sustainable. It means you are finally moving in the right direction. This was the moment to build, not burn. A growing number of fans are asking an uncomfortable question. Who is actually leading the players' union? Several union leaders have ownership stakes in other leagues. Some benefit financially from overseas basketball. That raises eyebrows. Fans are openly wondering if certain players would be just fine if the WNBA collapsed. Whether that is fair or not, perception matters. When leadership appears disconnected from reality, trust evaporates. Calling the league structure draconian did not help. Fans looked at decades of subsidies, full benefits, charter flights, and steady pay increases and wondered how that word applied. Draconian is watching a league fold and everyone losing their jobs. Draconian is disappearing for another decade as the ABL did in the 1990s. Getting offered an 800% raise in a money-losing league does not feel draconian to fans. It feels like winning the lottery and complaining that the check is not big enough. Another reality scares fans. Replacement players. Rookies are under contract. They cannot strike. That means players like Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and Cameron Brink would still be eligible to play. Owners could fill rosters with international players overnight. European leagues are full of elite talent earning $30,000 to $60,000 per season. Six-figure WNBA contracts would look life-changing. Planes would be booked within days. Fans are asking themselves a hard question. Would the league actually stop? Or would it simply look different? That possibility terrifies players and fans alike. Because once replacement players step on the floor, the power shifts permanently. One comment keeps appearing again and again. I'm tired. Not tired of women's sports. Tired of the constant narrative that everything is unfair. Everything is someone else's fault. Fans want progress, not conflict. The WNBA has been given advantages no women's league ever had. NBA backing, shared arenas, promotion, protection. And it is still not profitable. At some point, the conversation has to shift from what the league deserves to what it has earned. That does not mean the players are wrong for wanting more. It means timing matters. And this timing feels reckless. Even if a deal is eventually signed and the season moves forward, there is a growing fear that some damage cannot be undone. Trust, once shaken, does not automatically reset just because paperwork gets finalized. Fans feel that deeply. Ticket buyers are hesitating. People who were planning to attend games are pausing, waiting to see what happens next. Sponsors are watching closely, not emotionally but strategically. Media partners who were finally investing airtime and promotional resources are now questioning stability. Momentum is fragile, especially in a league that has spent decades trying to build it. For many fans, this situation crossed an invisible line. Supporting a league through growth pains is one thing. Feeling like that support is being taken for granted is another. When fans perceive players as being unreasonable or disconnected from reality, engagement fades quickly. And disengagement is deadly for a league still fighting to secure its place in the sports landscape. This was not just a negotiation behind closed doors. It became a public trust test. A moment where fans were forced to ask themselves whether their loyalty was being respected. Some feel the league failed that test. Even fans who understand the desire for long-term equity are struggling with the timing and the tone. They worry that casual viewers, the ones who finally tuned in during 2024, will simply move on if things turn ugly. You do not get infinite chances to grow an audience. When interest peaks, every decision matters. The fear now is not just about money. It is about losing belief. And belief is far harder to rebuild than revenue. Now imagine this moment through Caitlin Clark's eyes. She just completed the most influential rookie season the WNBA has ever seen. She sold out arenas. She brought millions of new viewers. She turned Indiana Fever games into national events. She changed the league's trajectory almost overnight. And now, the Players Association she is required to be part of is threatening a strike over a deal that would pay her nearly $2 million per season. That is an impossible position to be in. Clark did everything right. She delivered on the court. She handled pressure. She embraced the spotlight. She gave the league exactly what it needed at exactly the right moment. And suddenly, all of that momentum is being placed at risk by a fight she did not start. The same is true for Angel Reese and other rookies who finally tasted WNBA success. They entered the league during a rare window of excitement and growth. They were building fan bases. They were becoming recognizable names. Now they are caught in a battle driven largely by veteran frustration and long-standing resentment. That tension is real. It is human. But it puts younger players in an unfair spot. Speak out and risk alienating teammates. Stay quiet and watch momentum fade. No matter what happens, this moment will shape how these stars view the league moving forward. And that matters because they are the future. A future that suddenly feels uncertain. So now it comes down to one question. The question that decides everything. Was this worth it? Was authorizing a strike over revenue sharing in a money-losing league worth risking everything that was built in 2024? From the fans' perspective, the answer feels painfully clear. Take the massive raise. Prove the growth is sustainable. Build profitability. Then negotiate from a position of strength when there is actual revenue to share. Because leverage is not just about demands. It is about timing. The players had momentum. They had public support. They had owners willing to increase compensation dramatically. They had expansion talks, media interest, new fans. All they had to do was keep building. Instead, they chose this moment to draw a hard line. And fans are left wondering if that line was drawn in the wrong place. Trust is the currency of growing leagues. Once broken, it is incredibly difficult to earn back. Fans remember how they felt during moments like this. Sponsors do too. The league now stands at a crossroads. Do the players compromise and preserve what has been built, or do they gamble everything on a principled battle that math does not support? That decision will echo far beyond this contract. What do you think happens next? Will cooler heads prevail, or will this become the moment everything fell apart? Drop your thoughts in the comments.
Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more dives into Hollywood's hidden history.